Welcome to another episode of Unsolicited Opinions. I'm your girl, Malika.
I'm Ryan J.
And we are the Unsolicited Opinions podcast, where we bring you the real,
The raw.
the relevant.
Let's do it.
Welcome back, baby.
Part 2 in the new studio. I like this. I like this feel.
I know it's really homey. I don't know if y'all can tell. We feel really good in here. Dante got us right.
Shout out to Dante. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast at some point.
I know,
soon.
literally.
Yeah.
Whenever Dante get on here, y'all will be able to see, the person behind everything. He's been amazing to us. So
For sure.
excited about that. But Ryan, I was on Instagram just scrolling, and then I saw you outside interviewing people for your card game.
Shout out to another black business owner.
Another black business owner, black card game, P's and Q's, baby, yes.
Yeah, we applying pressure.
You're applying pressure. So, hold on. Let's get into it.
What's up?
So, I know P's and Q's. We talked about it on the podcast when we first brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
So, when is it dropping? Do we know yet?
Nah, I'm waiting on the last design because did I give you the cards? No, I didn't give you none yet.
I don't have the new ones. You showed me the old ones.
Right, so I have a mock design. I'm waiting on the final design. It should be in this week.
Okay.
What's today? Next week. Today's still Saturday. Next week. We can go by the lower state. The first day is a Sunday. So I'm waiting next week for the final design. I'm waiting on my YouTube logo.
Okay.
I'm going to do my YouTube banner. So everything should be finalized by the time this probably come out.
Right.
But yeah, it should be dropping, I'm going to say summertime. That's when the parties come out. I'm going to say summertime. Sometime summertime.
Be
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, when you go out to interview people, what do you look for in the people that you interview?
I look for groups. The funny thing is, like, I notice, like, when I see, like, a group having fun and they kind of, like, lit in their own space, I'm like, all right, he seemed entertaining. She seemed cool.
Okay.
He seemed lively. She seemed, like, bubbly.
Okay.
Let me go talk to them.
Do you ever get people that's like, I'm cool. No, thank you. They
Oh,
see the
for
camera.
sure.
They see the microphone. They see you. They're like, oh, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, so the thing is, I set the mic up in one spot and then I go look for people. Because I don't want them to be overwhelmed with, like, what's going on? And I don't want to be on camera. So I kind of ask them, like, hey, do y'all want to be a part of
Oh,
my
so you don't just walk up on them like,
Yeah,
hey, how you doing?
yeah.
Cheaters.
Yeah. yeah. I can't do the cheaters thing. So I kind of just go up to them, like, hey, I got a card game. I kind of introduce myself, and I'm like, I'll let y'all read a couple. Usually when they read a couple, that's when they...
Oh, they be, okay.
Yeah, because they like, oh, I like this. And they start passing it around to their friends. And then from there, they be like, I'll do it. And some people like, I don't want to do it, but I'll watch.
Okay.
So I kind of get that more so than anything.
Okay, that sounds good. So the basis of the card game, how do people play it?
So how the game goes is you flip the card. The person who flips it.
This is as a group. Like, you could play it as friends. You could play it in a relation. Like, how do you play it?
So how the game goes is it's a series of questions. There's scenarios. There's this or that. There's thought-provoking questions. There's mature questions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like I'm trying to cover bases of a little bit of everything. Because what I want you to do is you can either answer all the questions or depend on your crowd. If you know you got like a lit crowd, you probably don't want to answer the serious questions when you drinking.
Yeah.
So you just shuffle those out and you answer the spicy questions.
Okay.
But if you got a mature crowd, right, you got a little bit of older, you take out some of the spicy stuff and then you answer, like, one of the questions is, what would you tell your younger self? So that allows people to, depending on what crowd you got, you can kind of answer those questions. So you go one by one, you flip the card, the person who flips it reads it, and then they go around, everybody takes turns answering that question. So you can play the drinking version, which is, if you don't want to answer the question, you have to take a shot.
Okay.
There's questions you don't want to answer.
Okay.
Especially if you got a partner. Or just like, there's just uncomfortable questions, but the point is to provoke conversation.
Okay.
And everybody kind of learns from everybody's opinion and get their feedback. And if you don't want to do the drinking stuff, you just don't want to answer, you can just choose to...
Take score.
Yeah, just take score, but you just... Usually I would say, make up your own rules so you can say, like, if you don't want to answer, you got to do a dare.
Okay.
Or you got to do a truth.
Okay.
Like, just make up your own kind of thing.
Make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun, but it's just more so the whole point is to think and then just provoke conversation throughout the game.
Okay, good. But that's coming soon. So we got something to look forward to, y'all. And then we gonna answer some more of them questions on the pod. I'll be a little nervous. Do you think that P's and Q's will possibly invoke some insecurities amongst the group while they're playing?
For sure. But that's the point, though. Like, the point is when you provoke these when you have these thought-provoking questions, when you go home, it's like, all right, dang, how do I feel about this?
Yeah.
Do I want to fix this? I can't make someone fix an issue, but as long as I bring it to your attention, at that point, you can do what you want with the information. But the question is going to make you think, though.
Okay.
Especially if you hear other people's answers. And sometimes we may feel like we're the only people thinking this, and it's like, damn, she think this too. She think this too. Let me get her number. Let's have a group.
Right.
A group chat.
And let's figure this out.
Let's figure this out, yeah.
But don't say nothing crazy that your partner going to be looking at you later like, so.
Right.
You don't like my feet. You said you don't like size 9. I wear a size 10.
Yeah, they in there. It's one of them. It's like one of them is you got to pull the car and say smash a pass. Everybody got to go around the room. If your partner there, you might as well take that shot, my boy. Or the girl, you might as well take that shot.
Okay, well, since we're talking about that, we're going to get into insecurities because I think that's important.
Yeah.
And something as small as a card game
will make
you insecure. It will show your insecurities. It can bring it out.
Right.
The definition of insecurities is basically like an uncertainty or anxiety about yourself. And it's something that you feel you may need to work on or you lack confidence in.
I like that last part. You lack confidence in. Yeah.
So my question is, where do these insecurities come from? Where do they start? How do they start?
Oh, man.
How can they start?
I think they start from childhood, like either from your friends or your family. It's usually one or the other. Like, because you spend your most time with your family in school. So it's like, if your family, which is, I can't say our culture, we joke around a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, we joke around so much.
You skinny, you on drugs. You fat, you eat too much. Goddamn. I can't be nothing.
Yeah.
Get a little thick.
Mm-hmm.
What you been doing? What you been? You need to pull away from the table. I need to, we need to ration that out. But if I'm small, you gonna try to fatten me up.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna try to put more food in me.
Nothing's ever good enough.
Ever.
Your head big as
What you want me to do about that? What you want me to do about that?
You got that from your daddy's side. Okay, if I did, but that still don't make me feel any better.
So let's say it comes from family.
Yeah.
Do you think that the insecurities that they give us or the things they push on us are projection? Do you think these are things they may be insecure about and they're finding it in us?
Yeah, I think it's so many layers to this. It's like, I think that some of it is projection, like say your mom and I've heard this from women. I've never knew about this, that moms are jealous of their daughters. I've never, ever knew about, like, I didn't know that was a thing, right? Because I've never really heard about the
moms
dad.
and daughters butt heads.
Yeah.
It is typically a tug and war type of relationship, typically. But I do know plenty of women with healthy relationships with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty.
Right.
But usually, depending on the mother's background and however the daughter is being raised will determine how that relationship is molded.
Right.
So yeah, it's
I didn't know.
There is definitely a lot of insecurities there. I think too, like especially if a mom grew up without a dad and then the daughter is a daddy's girl.
Mom grew up. Okay. Mom grew up
without a dad, and the daughter is a daddy's girl.
Yeah, that's a lot of resentment.
That's like why couldn't I have that, or why is that relationship not mine, or there is a lot of insecurities there, and that can get pushed onto your daughter, and hopefully at some point that stops. That doesn't continue as a family. What is the word?
Generational curse.
Generational curse. There we go.
And the funny thing is that sometimes the parents aren't even aware that they're doing it. It's more so like unconscious resentment that they feel, and they're putting it on the child. Like, why couldn't I have that? It's not on purpose. It's just that I've never unpacked all this stuff and healed. So now I'm wanting to put my feelings on that because I've never had that.
Again, therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy. And even when you're in therapy, it's still hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that makes you more aware of what is being said. Because if you're steady telling your child that they are lacking in some way, that is something that's always going to stick with them. And of course, they're always going to remember who the hell it came from.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been telling me I'm dumb my whole life, that's all I'm going to remember when I think about you. When I see you, is how dumb I am. And a lot of times when you give people's like those insecurities, their whole goal at that point is to prove you wrong.
Right. no matter what.
No matter what.
You willing to go any distance to prove them wrong. And in the process, you could be hurting yourself.
I'm messing up.
You building your own insecurities because you're trying to prove something to somebody who isn't even worthy of the approval or the validation, because they still ain't got their shit together with their own validation.
Yeah.
Because in reality, no matter what you do is gonna be good enough because they still haven't dealt with their own stuff.
Right. And then if you start trying to fix it, you think you're better than everybody.
Right.
You think just because if you do this is da-da-da. Do you think that everybody has an insecurity?
Absolutely.
At least one.
Either they have it or they had it.
So you think there's people out here with no insecurities?
I think there's a small amount of people who don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
anything.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
they just this is me and this is what it's gonna be.
This is what I come with and this is how you gonna accept it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a small percentage though.
I think everybody has some type of insecurity.
Okay.
It may be smaller than others. It may be bigger than others. I think my very first insecurity, like real insecurity, I was skinny, but I had hips and I couldn't understand it in high school. Like I just couldn't understand, why am I so small? So one summer, I literally ate, went to sleep. Ate, went to sleep. Ate, went to sleep. And then it's like, what am I doing this for? You know what I mean? Like, and then I think about now, like girls at that, like my age at that time can go get surgeries. But I'm glad I didn't go get no surgery or nothing, because I got into my grown woman body and I got a little nice shape now. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful. That's the insecurity that's gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still, you going to school, you seeing thicker girls. They're getting a little more attention. You know, everybody calling you string bean and, hey, little one. That's what this teacher used to call me, little one, because I was so little. I was so little. I was like this big.
Yeah. And what's sad is that we always think like the bigger people are the ones who like get it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you fat and you big, and it's like, yeah, that is true. That can be insecurity because people don't want to feel like.
But shit, I know fat people who more confident than damn small people.
Right, but then we talk about somebody skinny, they think like, well, you skinny, you shouldn't feel that way. It's like people who feel skinny don't feel secure either because y'all make jokes about them too. And even somebody with the in-between body, it's just like, if you joke about something, anything can be insecurity and nothing can be wrong with them.
Yeah.
If you joke about anything long enough to somebody who's growing up, it can be insecurity.
Yeah.
Your eyebrows, your lips, your nose can be perfect, but if you can continuously joke about it, they're going to look at it like insecurity.
Especially starting young, because you're being molded.
Right.
Like, you don't know the world.
Right.
You're being molded for the world. So if the people who have already been living in this life are making me feel like this, then I must be doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Even back to like, you know, people who are bigger or smaller, people who are smaller, a lot of them, if they can't cope with it, they anorexic, they bulimic, that, you know, they may be going through things too that somebody that's bigger might go through.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say that it is a child or somebody that's bigger, maybe they can't lose the weight. And that's why I don't like when people just make an assumption based off of an appearance without knowing a full detail. Like if you know this person and you just know they lazy as hell and don't want to lose the weight.
Yeah, that's different.
Cool. But if you just see somebody walking down the street and they huge and you're like, damn, they big. It's like, you don't know what they dealing with. Like they could
have a health condition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, damn, you don't know that, you don't think they know they big. You ain't got to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to make them feel uncomfortable about it.
But yeah. That's so crazy.
What?
You would go like when family gatherings, you would show up for Thanksgiving and be like, you gaining some weight. It's
yes!
like, why would you say that?
Yes.
Why would you say that?
I think I know that. I had that one period in my life where I just was like going through it. And I was so little. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I was smaller. Shit, I'm stressing, not eating, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. I don't need nobody else to tell me that. I know that.
You losing weight. You
okay? Everything okay? Yeah, let's get you some food. Put some more food on that plate.
Yeah, that's not the...
Black people love telling you to put some more food on your plate.
You sure you want nothing else? You sure?
Literally.
Like, dude, I'm good, but like, I don't need you telling me, because you don't know what somebody going through. Somebody can be going through, they just stressing about school or relationship or just life. Like, they just trying to figure out life, and they just happen to, they way of coping with is eating. We not saying that's the best method or the best answer to their situation, but it's like, you're not helping the situation. Because family, you expect them to support you more than anybody.
Through anything.
Right. And now you telling me like, girl, you blowing up. All right.
What was your first insecurity?
I would say probably my body.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I got tattoos at first.
Wow.
Yeah, because because my parents genetically was skinny.
Which is fine
right.
now as you get older.
Right.
You realize that.
Right. My parents was just always skinny. Like no matter what, even if I lift weights, playing sports, I was just one of those strong, skinny people.
Okay.
That's the way my parents was built up until they got older. But
don't do them.
Don't do I ain't gonna get But no, that's the way they was until they got older, and that's how I'm wired. So I would always hear people say, especially when you like play sports, and it's like I always got rejected because it was like he too small. I don't know if he good enough to get on this team, or because back then, not really so much now. Back then it was like we want this type of athlete, like we want a big, tall. I wasn't either or. I'm for athletes, right? In the athletes realm, in the regular world, I'm taller than average, but in the athletes, I'm shorter than average, right?
Okay.
So in that world,
how tall are you now?
6'1".
Okay, so
but for athletes, it's probably like 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, 6'5", right?
Okay.
So I'm on the smaller end of the athletes, and then I don't weigh as much as the average athlete. So it's like I got rejected so much where I don't know if he can be good enough for this team, and he's not big enough or he's not strong enough. So I'm constantly getting rejected, and it's just like, but I'm good enough though.
Right.
Like regardless of how y'all feel, I'm good enough.
And you play basketball.
Right.
Okay. Did you play any other sports?
I play everything. I play football, baseball.
Damn, I do remember a football picture of you. Don't you got one where you kneeling down?
Yeah, I play everything.
I'm like, I remember that. Okay.
And I was pretty good at everything. It's just that how my genetics was, I wasn't allowed to get, like, I would get cut up, but I just wouldn't get big. So the whole reason why I got tattoos is if you saw my body, if I take my shirt off, what's the first thing you're going to say? Back then when people wasn't getting tattoos like that.
Like bird chest.
Nah, but like, before you get tatted, yeah, but like while I'm tatted, they like, oh, he got a lot of tattoos.
Oh yeah, they not noticing nothing else.
You're not noticing nothing else.
Yeah, okay.
So at first, when I got it, it was more so like, he got tattoos. They not worried about how I look. After a while, it's more so like, I like the artwork and I put all positive things on me that made me feel good. So when I wake up and I look at myself, it's like, I see good things about myself.
That's crazy because I guess because when I think of basketball players, they look like you. You know what I mean? Like they're taller, slimmer, and they might have like muscle, but they're still like slender. You know what I mean? So I guess I would have never like now if you said football, I'd be like, how you play football?
Right.
Like something like that. But like for other sports, it just seems like it would be like a natural fit. That's interesting. So do you think that some of the things people say are painful or playful? Like, can you ever hear somebody say something and be like, oh, they just playing? Or is everything that people say to you, you retain? You're like, ooh, they said this.
You mean before or now?
Let's do both. Before and now.
I think before I take it more personal depending on what's going on. So, like, if I'm constantly have this, like, thing, like, again, I'm rejected from something I love to do. No matter what you say, if you playing, I'm taking it personal because I'm already feeling away. I got a chip on my shoulder about this.
Okay.
Like, I'm tripping off this no matter what. But then I guess later on, it was more so like I accept myself. I know I'm good enough because I prove time and time again that I can play or I can do this on this level or succeed at this point in time. So at this point, it's like I can tell if you're joking or if I keep hearing you repeat it, I feel like you kind of taking shots without doing it in a certain way. But at this point, I don't really care because I'm confident in myself to where I ain't really tripping off that.
I think I've learned that now people talk shit based off of their own insecurities.
That too, yeah.
Like, if you saying something to me, baby, it's something else you need to go think, work on yourself because what I'm doing ain't bothering you.
Yeah. You want me to feel how you feel.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You ever met like a miserable person? Like they just miserable and everything is just a problem and it's like all them insecurities eating your ass up, baby, because why are you so miserable?
It's so draining.
It is.
It's always an issue. Like no matter what. You can be their friend and you can say all positive things to them. And you say like, man, I don't know about this outfit. Like, man, nigga, that shit fire. Like, or you say, hey, you look good in the outfit. And it's just like, but it looks so.
Yeah, like, nah, because this and you be like, all right.
Yeah, like, I'm going to keep hyping you up. But at some point, it's like, bro, I can't.
You better hype your bestie up.
Yeah, like, we going to hype you up. But at some point, it's going to be like, I can't make you feel good in your own skin.
Yeah.
That's on you. Like, at some point, you're going to ask me, like, how you feel about it? How you feel about it? It don't matter how I feel about it. I don't got to wear this shit. You got to wear it.
That's it. I don't got to wear it because I swear to God, I've seen some people's stuff on. I'll be like, listen, baby, you so confident in that. It's nothing I can say to you.
It look good on you.
It looks great on you. I can't wear it, but it looks great on you because you're so confident in it.
Yeah.
In school, because we have the family dynamic.
Okay, can I pause you
Yeah.
there? What was your first, because I want to know your first insecurity.
Being skinny.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah, being skinny. And then I think I started to gain a little bit of weight, and I had stretch marks on my butt. And I'm younger, so like I'm thinking the world is ended. This is the first time I ever seen my dad cry. He probably gonna say, "Oh, I don't remember," but we were going out of town to Disney World, and he needed to get me a swimsuit. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to find a swimsuit, and so he picking out swimsuits, but every swimsuit got my little booty cheeks out, and it's because it's like a little one piece, like the little one piece. That's how parents put you in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I have stretch marks, and I just started crying, and he looked at me and just started crying because at that moment I think he realized like, oh shit, my daughter grown up. But also for me, that was really important. I needed to have a cover up. Like, I needed a cover up. I was not walking around in a swimsuit with no cover up.
Right.
So, yeah, like being small. And then when I started to gain weight, I'm like, oh, this comes with stretch marks. But they sexy now, so
Get call them tiger stripes.
Listen, the war stripes.
War stripes.
Yeah, I think that's what you learn with insecurities. Is like as you get older, those become the things that people love about you. That's it. My big ass forehead, love that hoe. Mm-hmm. My nose as I was younger, lips. The one thing I was really, really insecure about at one point is like, it's so weird. People used to always be like, your nose so big. And I'd be like, is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it big? And then now people be like, your nose so cute. I'd be like, boy, f you. Girl, f you.
You think they joking?
As like growing up, I did when it started to like, cause everything kind of grows into itself. You mold into your face and your body. So because that's always been an insecurity for me, when people start being like, I like your nose. Okay, similar to you, right? Mm-hmm. You went and got tats. I went and got my nose pierced.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it kind of takes away from...
Yeah, it kind of, people see my nose ring. They don't see my nose.
Right.
So, yeah. And as you get older and people start to compliment you on it, oh, I like your nose. I like your nose ring. You like, shut up.
Right. You playing.
So it's wild. It's definitely a wild thing. Yeah. I'm sure if people like think back on a lot of their insecurities, they'd be like, damn, I don't care about those anymore. And the things that people used to talk about are the things people compliment me on now.
Yeah. It's like, so one of the other things was like being smart, because again, we equate intelligence to school. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do good in school, they feel like you're dumb. But school isn't for everybody. So for me, I never had a teacher tell me I was smart like that. Like maybe like first grade or some shit. But like after that, it wasn't no. So for me, it's like we always validate by grades. Oh, A's, B's, report cards. And for me, I'm a creative person. So creative people, you can't really box them in. They need like free reign to do. But school is so boxed in. You gotta raise your hand.
It's structured.
You gotta answer this. There's no gray areas. Creative people need gray areas. Right. It's either black or white in school. So for me, I was really never told I was smart. So for me, I felt like I was dumb for a long time. So me being insecure about that until I got older, and I kind of started like venturing out into like what I like art, music, paintings, writing, just learning like how to be creative in different ways. And the same thing how you said like your insecurities are the things people love about you. Yeah. I realized I was intelligent, not to their standards though. Mm-hmm. Like my intelligence just comes from creativity. It doesn't come from books and numbers and all that other shit that we learn in school. Mine just come from how, like, if you can create something out of nothing, if you can get a paper and a pen and create that shit out of nothing, that's a form of intelligence. Yeah. I'm good at that.
Because it's people who can't do what you do.
Right.
They'll probably look at you and be like, bro, I have no clue how you did that shit. I have no clue how you thought about creating a card game and bringing that to fruition. I have no clue how you sat up here and said you want to do a podcast and you did that. Have no clue how you wrote a book, a whole book. 2.5. Mm-hmm. And you got it out here. People can't do that.
It's a fact.
I love to write. I thought about writing a book. I said, Ryan, I can't do that. My attention span too short. I can't write no book. I got book content. Mm-hmm. but I can't do it. I ain't gonna say can't.
You can, but it's just you just gotta find your way, your lane.
It's not gonna happen the way it happened for you.
Right, but it's just your insecurity of people saying like or making you feel like what you don't like. People will love that about you. Even like the podcast, like to you talking is regular. Like just you talking is regular. Like our conversations are regular, but to other people when they hear it, they're like, it's just people talking to you. They be like, "You so relatable," and I don't know how I connect with you. And it's just like, girl, I'm just talking, right?
I'm just being me,
right?
Like,
I'm just being me. But that's a form of like creativity, or that's a form of like
expression,
right? Expression, or like you with your blog, you with your poetry. To you that's just so normal to you because that's just you.
Mm-hmm.
But hypothetically, your teachers may never have told you, "Yo, you'll be good at poetry, or you'll be good at writing, or you'll be good at artistic stuff."
Yeah.
And it's like we have these things where people don't really validate what we thought was supposed to be it. And it's like, no, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah. One of the things that I realized is I realized that the insecurities I once had, I no longer cared about was when I decided to do my toy store. Like when I decided to do my pleasure products, so many people were like, why are you choosing that? Like, why are you doing that? I don't know. I don't know about that. And I didn't give a okay?
Why not?
Because it was what I wanted to do.
Right.
Sex sells. At the end of the day, sex sells.
It's never going nowhere.
It's never going nowhere. And everybody has it.
From the beginning of time to the end of time, sex is always going to be a thing. Yeah.
Yes. Except for the virgins. And y'all not doing it, but everybody else doing it. That's how we got here.
Right.
So it's like, you can't tell me this. You can't tell me this might not be a good idea. You can't tell me any of these things when I've already known and put it in my mind that this is what I'm going to do. And then those be the first people talking about like, can I buy something from you?
Yeah. Oh, ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy?
How?
This is not a good idea. You shouldn't do this. And then you were the first customer, first in line.
For real. Or, they always talk about the dark skin, light skin thing. That was always another thing. Growing up, I was burnt. I was dark. They cut the lights off. They can't see me. Baby, I'm not even that goddamn dark. Like, as a kid, though, that shit hurts.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to make you feel away.
As a kid, that hurts.
Yeah, it's going to make you feel away.
But now y'all love it here. Y'all love it here.
Especially when society and all these commercials and all these advertisements, they just validate, like, we want these lighter women. It's like, nah, y'all look good, too.
Yeah. I mean... Okay, let's go to like television when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I got the vibe of like TV dedicating to lighter women or darker women. If you look at like, because I used to watch stuff like BET, MTV, and stuff like that. They used to have dark-skinned women in their videos, light-skinned women in their videos. Everybody's bodies were fire. They were natural for the most part. Back then, mostly what they probably had were, like, breast implants.
Yes.
So there was nothing that I literally felt like I saw on TV that I was just like, I want that. Like, I want to look like that. My role models when I was younger were India Arie, Erykah Badu.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Aaliyah, like Sierra's. These were all very natural, very, very natural women. Yeah, but I feel like, women ain't the only one with insecurities. I feel like I see men on the internet with it too. They got all the chains, they got all the money, flashy.
Mm-hmm.
They doing it. I heard niggas getting BBLs too, so stop playing. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
They getting the sausage implants.
They getting what they abs etched and sketched. They fat pulled out. They doing
super
it too.
Crazy. That's super crazy.
They doing it all too. So as a man, when you see other men flexing on the gram with cars that's not theirs and money that's not theirs, or that's prop money, fake jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's lame. Just to me, I don't really judge nobody off that. I think it's lame in general, but like if you like, I'd rather be cool with somebody who's lame, but that's who they are, than somebody who's trying to be cool and that's not who they are.
Okay. And do you think it's an insecurity?
Yeah, because if you gotta like always flash money or something outside of yourself, you're not fully comfortable with yourself. Not all the time. Some people, that's just really what they like.
I know some who's lame.
Yeah.
And then they got a little older and got a little money, and now they think they supposed to have X, Y, and Z, and it's like, no, baby, no.
You just a lame money now. That's all. That's okay. If you
they
a lame,
have the worst attitudes.
Right.
They extremely like playful. Like it's always they saying something slick, but it's like playful. But now they got the money, they feel like they can say it. They could do it.
You know what's funny? The best part about this, women know when y'all lame with money. They just ain't gonna say because they gonna be like, I'm about to play this dude.
I'm about to say that's usually the ones that get used.
Yeah, I'm about to play dude because
that's usually the one that get used.
He over here popping all these bottles, acting like he X, Y, and Z, and we know he ain't really like that. The dudes who be like that for real, who confident in themselves, they don't got to do all that. It's that we gonna do it, but we gonna act like we've been here before. I don't gotta act out loud and have 2 bottles in my hand.
Yeah,
we've been here before, and even if we haven't, I don't need this. Because without this, I'm still me.
Hell, usually the person buying the section ain't even like the latest one over there.
Yeah. I want you to say, who be the latest one for real? Who be the lit one
the
for real?
The one that don't drink, the one that don't put in, the one that, you know, don't have nothing and that's just their homeboy and they be happy. That's the insecurity that I want men to get rid of. The one where you got to talk about your friend that got the money. Oh, this is my homeboy, da-da-da, he da-da-da. And it's like, what are you selling him or are you selling you? Who we selling?
Yeah. Who is this? Oh, that's my brother. You know,
my bro.
I used to train him for football and basketball. It's like, bro, not that. Just my brother. I love him. Like, I'm just here to look out.
Yeah.
We just calm and cool, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, me ain't got it bad too. The insecurities on the net, they be a little bad.
I feel like we should talk about that more. As far as men, because that's not something we talk about that amongst ourselves.
Right.
Like, I feel like if we talk about that more, it would get further. But that's just, I don't know why we don't talk about it. We'll talk about it to women to an extent, but we don't really talk about the men part of like
y'all. But y'all ain't gonna. I guess ultimately we might not call out our friends either when you think about it.
Really?
Nah, cause like I'm cool with my friends who like get surgeries and stuff like that and whatever after something has happened. Like if they can't lose the weight, they done had kids, they want their body the way they want it. But like if I had a friend who's just like, girl, like, you know, I need to get rid of my midsection, baby, go to the gym. But I would say that. I'm like, girl, go to the gym, come gym with me. I would say that. I just don't think y'all gonna tell y'all friends to stop flexing. I don't think dudes will tell their friends stuff like that.
No, because it's I guess it's more so like my friends are blunt though. Like my friends will tell you if you ask, or we'll be like if you do something super lame, they'll be like, boy, you lame as hell for that. Like,
okay.
But we really gonna tell you like at some point we're like, dude, you lame. Like we not about to rock amongst the circle and you being lame.
Okay.
We all gonna look bad. It's a no. But if that's what you want to do in your own time away from us, then cool. But yeah, we should, I mean, it just depends. If you ask us, though, we'll tell you.
I'm good for telling one of my homeboys that weird. I'm like, that's weird, bro. You weird as hell for that. Like,
we need more of that.
That's weird.
We need more of that. Because people don't want to say stuff.
What?
I don't want to go to church right now.
What? Come on, preach up.
Man, people don't want to say stuff because they be into it like, well, I know he about to pay for us at the club, so I don't really want to say nothing. And then, you know, this my home. I don't want to hurt his feelings. It's like,
he the one. Like, he probably the one that they flexing with.
I still love you, my brother, but that's lame. Like you acting like you looking real lame right now, and it's cool. I ain't saying you lame, but I'm saying what you doing is lame.
Mm-hmm. So, when you used to play sports, or even at work, do you feel like your coaches or your bosses can push your insecurities? Because these might not even be the same insecurities that your family give you. Mm-hmm. These may not be the same insecurities that you get from your friends. This can be a whole different
something else
type of insecurity.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like they make you, like your boss will make you feel like you can't do nothing right because they're always on you. Nah, like at this point in my life, I'm secure about like most of the things I had insecurities about, or now I don't give like some stuff. Yeah, I'm still insecure about. But at this point, it's just more so like I move to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
Because the minute I move to the beat of somebody else's drum because I feel insecure, it's when all my shit up.
Yeah.
And I realize when I do that too much of what somebody else want me to do, it don't pan out well for me at the end. So I just be like, I need you to do more of this, and I need you to be more of this. And I'm like, okay. I'll tell you okay, but I'm not going to do it, though.
Okay, let's get into it then.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
You talk about relationships.
Yeah.
So you saying, like, somebody wants you to do this, somebody wants you to do that. How do you feel like insecurities affect relationships? Like, as a man, the inability to lead. Because you may have some insecurities about yourself that you don't feel like you can lead a relationship successfully. Or as a woman, we may have insecurities where we like, I don't think I can bring to the table what a man needs. Maybe she can't cook. Maybe she don't know how to wash clothes.
Yeah. I got the perfect answer for that.
Okay.
So you asked my first insecurity. I said it was about my body. My second one was leading a household, because again, my dad wasn't in the household. Like, my dad lived miles and miles and states away. So I had no example of like how it is to lead a family, and then I had no example of how to be a father, right? So I'm like, all of this is trial and error. So like, in between how you like figuring it out, you messing up, you doing good, you messing up, you doing good. It's like a long process. Literally, there's no like examples of like
no guide.
Like, you literally like, you in your own hand, but you writing the book as you trying to figure it out. So I'm probably still smallly insecure about that. I just accepted that it's gonna be trial and error, and that's just something I got to deal with. I'm okay with that. But it was just more so like, how do I fix an argument when I get into it with my wife? How do I, if I butt heads with my son or my daughter, how do I figure that out? How do I do this when they feel like this? How do I treat all my kids the same, or do I treat them different because they have different personalities? Do I yell at them like my parents did, or do I not whoop them? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's literally, it's so much that you got to figure out. Time management, being on top of their stuff.
Do you think just jumping in is the answer? Like,
what you mean?
You just got to get it. You got to do it. You
just
got to
figure it out.
Because if you think too far ahead,
there's no right or wrong way. You just got to figure out what works for you. It's just that if you have no guide or no foundation, you got to build your own foundation. And just like if you buying a house and it has foundation on it, it's easier, right? But if you're building your foundation, it's going to take a little bit longer because you're trying to figure out the right environment, what kind of house you want. It's just going to take longer. So for me, yeah, I did have an insecurity. I probably still slightly do have an insecurity on trying to lead and trying to be the right father that I want to be for my kids, right? So it's difficult because women want you to be ready when you deal with them, right? And
a lot of times.
Most of the times, y'all want us to be ready, and I'm being upfront that I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I'm not going to always do the right thing. I'm not going to always have the right answer. But if I want to break this generational curse, I'm going to have to be the one to figure it out.
But I think as women, we can appreciate somebody who says they're trying than somebody who's faking, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather somebody kind of like let me know, like, listen, I want to do this with you, but these are things that I'm still working on. So if you see this, like, know that I know that this is still a thing. So, you don't have to cuss me out and be mad and upset about this portion, because I already know that this is a problem. But we just have to know these things, right? Because it gets to the point where you feel like we nagging you, and it's like we just pointing out what we see, but we don't know that this is something you're already battling with unless you tell us.
But even when we tell y'all, right, and this is no knock on y'all because y'all can have whatever y'all want. If you had a dad in your life, you already know what to look for, right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, okay, sometimes, not all the time.
Not necessarily.
Or you at least know like a foundation, or like, my dad treated me like this, so I expect this.
I think as women, that is where we kind of mess up, right? Because I can look at my dad from a dad standpoint, but he could be a trash boyfriend, a trash husband, but he could be a fire-ass father. So for me to step in and ask my man to live up to a standard my dad has, I'm looking at it as daddy-daughter. I'm not looking at it as father, like my dad in a relationship.
Dad partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, he's my father. So the things that he's doing, he absolutely should be doing. He's my father. But I don't know my dad in a relationship. So for you to me to tell you to be like my father, love me like my father, take care of me like my father, you're not my father.
Right. But can you say that women do that? Like, well, my dad did this for me, and
no, we don't, because like I said, we don't look at it
y'all
as
don't separate the two.
No, we don't look at it as a father-daughter relationship. We look at it as I mean, we don't look at it as like it's father-daughter. We just assume like this is how a man's supposed to treat me.
Right.
Yes, a man is supposed to treat you good.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he's supposed to give you everything you want.
Right. And how you view your dad is differently how the girlfriend may view your dad, because he treats your daughter, because you're supposed to treat your daughter a certain way as opposed to your girlfriend. You're supposed to treat your girlfriend a certain way, your wife a certain way. But we all know your daughter's gonna get a special treatment as opposed to your wife or your girlfriend.
Yeah, I could sit up here and be like, my dad's amazing, and then his girlfriend could say he's a cheater.
Yeah.
My dad buys me everything. His girlfriend, he ain't bought me shit in 2 years.
Right. Yeah, it's just a different type of thing.
Like it's a different relationship dynamic.
But that would bring the insecurity on both ends. Like, just like a woman, if a woman doesn't know what to do, and I had my mom show me a way.
Your mama washed all your clothes.
She did everything for me.
She did everything.
And it's like, you supposed to do this? It's like, I mean, maybe or maybe not. But this woman, mom, wasn't there to have that thing, so she trying to figure it out. But how much lenience do I have or patience do I have to deal with that? Because I don't have to also. You know what I'm saying? So
because what if she can't cook? But she's saying, baby, I want to be with you. I love you. I can't cook for shit. Never learn how. But if you give me a chance, find me some recipes, send me some recipes, we're going to try to work through them. And she gets to the point where she's able to cook. But it's not something that she had to do previously. Yeah. I don't know how to wash clothes. All right, well, I'm going to see if my sister available. She can, if you okay with it, she can show you how to wash the clothes. Right. It's literally expressing those insecurities so somebody can work with you on how to fix them. Right. Now, if you got somebody up front who like, oh, hell no, I'm not trying to be with no girl who cannot cook. Yeah. Then that's the conversation you have up front.
You got to respect it, too.
Yeah, because she going to be going to Boston Market, putting meals together in a little thing and feeding it to you, talking about, baby, look what I cooked.
I meal prepped on Sunday for you.
Yes.
Nah, baby.
Nah, can one of homegirls who can get down and cook all this food for me, and I'm bringing it to you. So your whole relationship alive because you thinking that this girl can cook. You done married her. And now you realize I'm with her every day. Yeah. I ain't seen her cook one time.
We don't even got pots and pans.
Literally. Literally.
Oh, we don't even got pots and pans in the crib.
So going forward, before we wrap it up, I think one of the things is obviously we're at this stage where we're having our own families, our own kids. How do we prevent insecurities in our children? Is that possible?
Yeah, I think, man, I can only go off of experience. The only thing I can think of is just like support your kids and whatever they want to do. Even if you don't agree with it, unless it's like morally wrong within your foundation, just let them know like, hey, I don't agree with this. I'm going to support you, but I don't really agree with this. Or it's just more so like, just kind of just communicate with your kids on how you feel about stuff. Because
that's huge. That's huge.
Because I feel like as parents, our parents always project what they want for us. Like our parents feel like we are the second thing to them, and they want to live through us because they didn't get a chance to do stuff.
They want another chance, yeah.
Right, and they want to project all these things on us, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that, and why you doing this, and why you doing this? Like, I got my own life to live. Like, I got my own mistakes to make. I got my own situation to figure out. But in the meantime, we don't live in the same time. I don't want to go to college. Yeah. I want to do this. Just if you don't understand, that's fine. Just support me and just you can say how you feel about it, but just support me along the way and just say, look, bro, I don't really understand what you got going on, but I support you and I'm gonna ride with you.
But that's the issue. They have those conversations when we get older, after we done made all the mistakes, and then they want to explain to us why they did what they did or why they said what they said. But one of the biggest issues is parents don't talk to their kids. Oh yeah, parents talk at their kids. Yeah. So it's not like you see your child don't want to come out their room. You in there being weird. Like what's all this weird shit? You don't have this in my house. And it's like, nah, baby, come here. You haven't been out your room in 2 days. Like, come talk to me. What's going on? Get up, clean this shit up. Do this. Da-da-da-da-da. Go wash them dishes. Go depress them dishes. Like, they doing all of this, but it's like, talk to your kids. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I got Aiden this week for spring break. And with kids who have special needs, they communication isn't right. Their communication can be off a little bit, right? But also, even if you don't have a kid with special needs,
kids in general don't always know how to communicate how they feel. They trying to figure it out. So sometimes a kid can be crying and he may not even be sad. He's just frustrated.
Yep.
And
you
trying
to out.
Right. You trying to talk at him and you making him more frustrated because he already feel away because he can't get it out.
And you're like, talk to me. What's wrong?
Right. And I'm like learning that sometimes you just got to give them time and just kind of be like, hey, like, just let's calm down. Let's sit with this. Like, I know you mad. What's wrong? And if they don't want to talk right now, just sit with them. Mm-hmm. Just sit in a room quiet with them. Let them calm down. Let them figure out what they want to say.
You know, when you're ready to talk, let me know.
Right. As long as they ain't causing a muck and just doing all type of shit. Like, I ain't rocking for that. That's just me. But yeah, like, don't talk at your kids. Just more so be patient with them and just try to be understanding as you can and just let them know, like, hey, like, I don't really understand why you crying, but I'm going to just sit with you until you figure it out.
Okay. And then if you're dating somebody, because we at a big age, you know, as we get older, we're going to deal with more and more people that may have more insecurities, more traumas, more things that we haven't dealt with. How do we deal with other people's insecurities that we're dating or even friends?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't about to sit here and bullshit. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Because shit like a show. Like, everybody's so different.
Everybody is different.
It's a show. I don't know.
As a kid or what you had in your life, this person may not have had. This person may have had. Where's this and this? And I think the biggest thing is communication. Without the communication, you have nothing. You have nothing. You can't start to fix anything. You can't figure out what's going on. If somebody cannot talk to you, you can't figure it out. So if every day I'm coming up to you and you got a mole on your face and I'm like just poking at it, just touching it. And I probably think it's the cutest thing, but in your mind, oh, she's being funny.
She's picking at me.
She's picking at me. But I don't know that this is a problem for you.
Yeah.
So now you just start spazzing on me and I don't know what the hell is going on. How do I know? How do I know not to point that out? Like, I think it looks great.
Right. What you love, I may not. I may hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We gotta. I want to talk about that once I get the answer to that because I don't know.
If anybody else knows, let us know. How do we deal with people either in friendships or other relationships that have insecurities? How do we help them to be comfortable with them? How do we make them feel like
safe?
Yeah, safe, like a safe space to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
How do we do that?
That's a good question.
Till next time, love.
Signing out.
Yeah.